Snow is falling here in Canmore. We started with 14 teams and we're back to just 4. Welcome to Championship Sunday here at the Canmore Golf and Curling Club. Darren McEwen alongside Steve Young for semifinal action, and we have a rematch of Draw 1 from the opening day at the National Championships. It's Yellowknife's Northwest Territories' Jamie Cooey taking on Jean-Michel Menard in his Quebec rink. Winner of this will play for gold later today. We have another semifinal in action on the sheet beside us. Steve, it's New Brunswick taking on Ontario in our feature game. You can't ask for two bigger names here in the curling world to take on each other in the semifinal.
No, you can't. And if it's any indication, that first round, that first day when we got to see these two teams was right down to the end, and every shot counted. Great curling. So we're in for a treat this morning here in Canmore.
To get us started is the Quebec lead, Annie Lemay.
It'll be interesting to see the strategy they use. Do they play conservative to get going, or does one team feel great about getting out and trying to make things happen early?
Quebec finishing with a 7-3 record. So they finished in 4th position, taking on first place Northwest Territories. They finished with a 9-1 record.
Shot.
LeMay will put that one top 4. The Quebec rink is rounded out by second Ian Belot, third Marie-France Larouche, and the skip Jean-Michel Menard, and they curl out of the Etchemin and Descollines curling clubs. Northwest Territories' Megan Kohler. She'll get us started for the team from the Yellowknife Curling Center. Steve, this team from the Northwest Territories has been the class of the field so far. They finished first, 2 wins ahead of everyone else, but their stats are really quite something. They've only given up 5 stolen points all event. And if you look at their points for, they lead the field with almost 7 points average per game. They have really had a successful week so far in Canmore, but all that is wiped clean, and you're playing basically sudden death for the day.
That's just it. I'm sure it gives them confidence. I'm sure they're feeling good going into this, but you're right. It's like starting all over. It's the records are 0-0 right now.
These are 8-end games, each team getting 30 minutes of thinking time. 2 90-second timeouts are available to the teams to use.
Well, we're getting a wide open end so far, every shot being made, so unless we get a miss, we probably anticipate a blank end, just everybody getting a feel for the ice, getting those little bit of nerves out. Not that any of the players on either of these teams would have those at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Megan Kohler herself having 7 Scotties appearances. She's been in this game before as well with Jamie. They won a bronze medal back in 2020. Northwest Territories looking for history here in Canmore. No national curling title has been awarded to a territory, so Jamie Cooey, I'm sure, knows that. He himself is looking to put himself on a national banner for the first time as well. So we look at Ian Belot with his first stone of this first end.
You know, we've seen Jamie a lot in a lot of different events. It's surprising that he's not gotten there, but he's certainly been close.
He's been very close. He won a silver in this event back in 2015 in Saskatchewan, losing to Saskatchewan in the final. And as we mentioned with Megan in 2020, they picked up a bronze for NWT.
That seems only fitting that gold medal is in the near future there. Well, we've only got 2 games going on as well. That may play a small factor. Too used to playing 3, and of course it's snowing, something we haven't had either. But it's been tremendous ice all week. The ice makers doing a great job providing great curl, and so far from what we're seeing, it's staying true to form.
Yeah, Quebec also has, well, the last game was yesterday afternoon at 2 p.m. They were idle last night in the evening draw, so they might want to just keep it clean to start with as well. Ian is partner to Marie-France Larouche.
Line's good. Ça s'en vient.
And we talk about history with Northwest Territories. A bit of history with Quebec here. Jean-Michel Menard winning this event 20 years ago, and it would be something to put a gold medal around his neck at the end of the day as well. It would be the second longest gap between Canadian curling championship victories in history. The other longest one was a 22-year gap that Robert Campbell had in the Canadian mix from 89 to 11.
Yep. Clean.
He hasn't missed a beat in 20 years, I can tell you that. No, and it just shows one of the great things about this sport. You know, even at the elite level and at the other levels as well, it can be played for life and stay relevant for life too. Between these appearances from 2001 to now, Jean-Michel has won a Brier championship, stepped away from the men's game, and still curls obviously in mixed and does some bond spieling in the Quebec area, but also does some league play. I can confirm that because he's above my team in the standings at the Ottawa Curling Club. He comes across the border to clean up at the OCC. Have you ever beat him? No. But you're in the same standings as him, so there you go. Yeah. I was hoping we'd maybe play him this week, but he'd be absent. I'd be absent. I think that's a good trade-off for your team, though. No disrespect intended, of course. Oh, no. Well, we're going to get a timing on this. We're getting a draw, so.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Well, 14-2-2 was the time split we got on that. That's hog to hog. We'll see where it ends up. With minimal sweeping, that's almost back to the T line. So we're looking at almost 14 and a half right now without sweeping. Marie-France LaRouche.
Clean. Yep. Whoa.
A staple in women's curling in the last 20 years for Quebec.
I bet.
Of course, had a fantastic run a number of those years, but I think back to her runner-up finish in Red Deer was quite exciting there, losing the final to the great Colleen Jones in 2006. It's Alberta Red Deer, and here she's back in Alberta again. Must be feeling good about her chances. Maybe it's something in the Alberta air.
You gotta go, Cole. Hard to hit it.
Well, going really hard, you can catch a piece of this.
Hard to hit it.
Luckily, it's near the edge. Only needed a little bit to get that one out. So clean house again, and we'll see another draw. I mean, advantage Quebec. I need to throw some draws here in the early parts of this. They're going to get that draw weight down. And that's one of those advantages when your team hits and rolls out. It gives you that extra intelligence. Good to see both these skips have fairly unique deliveries when you watch them. At least their throwing device is a little unique. Jay, I'm using the old brownie in a unique style, but you have seen some curlers replicate it, especially in Quebec in the last few years, the young curlers. It works. Well, he took edge of 12 on this, so it'll be interesting to see where this ends up to give us a sense of the amount of curl they're getting early on here. Not much to this from the sweepers. Yeah, they just wanted to get somewhere in the house at least because you know that Jamie's going to hit it out. Jam with a little whistle there. I think he was a little surprised at the speed of it. So our first look here of Jamie Cooey. And you will not see a faster pre-shot routine, I don't think, than Jamie Cooey. It's one thing I noticed when I've been here during the week watching most of these games is that they do move along fairly quick. Yes. Yeah. And not in a bad way. They just they know what they're doing and they go, and not a lot of time wasted. So a lot of veteran skips at this event. Obviously in the playoffs, we have James Grattan beside us. But even in the championship pool, maybe names you wouldn't recognize as much, but they've curled for a number of years. So, and a lot of partners on the team, so people that know each other, even if they form newer teams, they're coming together as partners. So a lot of familiarity in it that pays off. This team is an example of that, with Annie Lemay and Jean-Michel Menard being husband and wife, and Ian and Marie-France. he wants to stick around, make sure that he makes Jamie hit and roll out. Maybe move it a little bit off just to give it a different look, but no. Jamie will throw relatively the same shot, probably about 4 seconds faster though, to keep it straight and get the roll out.
Not sure if it was with you, Steve, earlier in the week. We were at the New Brunswick game where I mentioned there's very few blank ends in mixed curling, but I jinxed us that game because we had about 4 or 5 of them. But
well, now you said it again.
yeah, I think we're in for a fairly aggressive style from both of these skips.
Yeah, I think the first end blank would be expected, especially if Quebec hadn't played yesterday afternoon.
Easy,
just
easy.
get used to the ice.
Easy.
Jamie Cooey with his final, trying to just pick this out,
go.
carry the hammer into this second end. Just.
It's funny, he probably had a quarter of the rock when it left his hand. It just kept floating and floating, and just enough.
So we'll head to the second end. Northwest Territories and the team from the Yellowknife Curling Center will retain the hammer. Mentioned we have another game on the ice. It is the other semifinal, and that is New Brunswick's James Grattan taking on Ontario's Mike McLean out of the Ottawa Curling Club. We'll update you on the scores, the score of that game as it happens, but right now it's still playing in the first end as we come back to our feature. So Jean-Michel asking Annie to put one top 4.
I guess he's going to ask Jamie to decide if he wants to make the first move and throw a guard. He's obviously, Menard is comfortable just throwing one in the house and letting Jamie make that decision.
Top 4.
Quebec, as I said, finished with 7 and 3 through both the pool play and the championship pool. They opened with a loss against Northwest Territories, so that rematch is this game. They went on, though, to win 5 straight wins before losing to the other semifinalists, New Brunswick, and then they entered the championship pool. They've won 2 of their last 3. They dropped their last game in the championship pool. That was to the other semifinalists in Ontario. So Quebec comes in 4th place. They haven't beat any of the other playoff teams, but like we said in the first end, Steve, it's 0-0 now, and all your records are wiped clean. You get that chance.
Take a look.
Sometimes it's you a little less pressure because you've lost to those teams, so maybe there's a bit less expectation on you, but you feel confident you can certainly win them. And we saw those games; they were all close. So it wasn't like it was a blowout in any way. So
good.
This format, no page playoff, similar or is the same as the World Championship, which is a new World Championship in the last few years. So it mimics that, so that our Canadian representative is used to that. You can run the table in the round robin, but once you get to the playoffs, it's a new game. Very similar also to the Olympics, where 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3 in the semifinal.
Yep, line.
See Annie LeMay there with a Scotty's necklace around her neck, a lot of diamonds in it. She's made 9 appearances. The last time was with the sweeper you see there on the left, her teammate Marie France, back in 2016.
well, game's on here. Jamie deciding to throw up that corner guard. One end was enough for blanks, and a tremendous 2 shots by LeMay to start the end for Quebec. That one is perfectly buried behind. But the ice is swinging, and we know that we can get to it, even when it's fully buried, the guard being long enough.
Cool. Wait. Margo!
I want to try to roll over behind his corner guard if he can.
Gotta go.
Asking Cole Parsons to directionally sweep this into the Quebec stone.
Oh, slid real wide and got her back.
Good.
Jamie saying she may have been off the target to start with and maybe turned it over a bit to correct.
I'm ball hack.
She had good weight that allowed it the chance, and of course some directional sweeping.
A lot of swing on this ice, as we've talked about, so the weight control on hits in particular, Steve, is the biggest thing. It's going to be the advantage if you can master that, or continue to master it as these teams have to get to this point.
Whoa. Any. Go, any. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, now. Okay.
I was hoping to get behind the center, but at least you got it out towards the corner. But a great chance for Jamie here to hit and roll behind his guard out front and just make a little harder shot for Quebec on their next.
Northwest Territories finishing 9-1. Their only loss coming to Northern Ontario. Trevor Bonneau's rink from Thunder Bay. They just missed the playoffs, finishing 6-4. It was an exciting night here last night at the Canmore Golf and Curling Club as we watched how the playoff picture shaped up.
And those final draws are usually interesting. You've got multiple scenarios played out, and you're waiting to see which one is going to unfold.
Hard, you're close.
Cole Parsons has to make the hit here.
Yep. You gotta hold it. You gotta hold it. You gotta hold it.
Got a roll. It will roll into the open through the port.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Okay. Ah, faut y aller. Un petit
It was
normal.
a blank end to start our other semifinal.
Yeah, not confident they can come outside in and be able to get the roll because of the weight choice. So they're deciding to come this new turn, but it does give them a chance for a roll behind the center line.
Whoa! Yes!
On and off is always a good.
Yes! Ah, whoa! That went.
Kind of caught between there.
Still a great shot. Well, North this territories will now try to get that hit and roll behind there. Corner guard.
Probably need at least normal.
Great shot there to see
like
James
normal.
Grattan on the next sheet, along with Jamie Coey there.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yep. Yes.
Gonna have to go to hold this.
Yeah, probably going to roll out, which will give Menard a good chance here to bury one in the top four, just biting top four behind his center guard. And we'll get a time on this. That red corner guard is kind of in the draw pass. It'll be interesting to see as they sneak by it
Line's good.
where it ends up.
Line's good. That was out.
It's great to see Mary France back at a almost
Line's good now. Line's good.
wobble there for Ian. It's great to see Mary France back at a national championship in contention here.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
She wanted to give a big thanks to everyone who helped her get to throughout her career. Benoit Cyr, she named it Andre Furlan, Pierre Charette, Eric Sylvain, and of course her father, Camille LaRouche, who have helped her throughout her career to get to this point. And as I mentioned, a well-known name, not just in Quebec curling, but all across Canada. Always a fan favorite when she was a Scotties skip.
Whoa.
She had perfect weight there, 14-4, just
Get
rubbing
off it
that
then.
guard. Like we said, it's kind of in the draw path of the button, so that's a good indication. And Jamie, I'm sure, would take a note of that.
Really got to go to get this by the top blue. Just nudge it. Might be able to still finish it a little bit. These rocks do finish nice at the end. You see it take a bit of a turn there.
Great little quarter rock spin at the end. Can't teach that.
Yeah, looking at that view there, you can see it's still pretty well buried.
But advantage Quebec now. It's behind the tee line. I mean, there will be room if it's frozen down for Jamie to freeze on top, but that will really shrink the scoring area for him to get more than a single.
Talked about it being 20 years since JM last won this event. It would be 22 years since
S'en vient, correct.
Mary France would represent Canada again if she's able to find the top of the podium. She won the 1999 Canadian Women's Junior Championship as a skip for Quebec. Her stone coming right to the red one, a little bump.
Well, good chance for Jamie to get at that and even get an inside roll, but he will be behind that tee
Love
line.
rolling under. Nose. Nose is good. Just here.
Enough to kill it, yeah.
Margot Fleming. She has been incredible this week, Steve. Calling a couple of their games already. And
Hold it out there hard.
there was one game where she made a run back that basically changed the momentum of the entire game. She's been a very strong shooter.
Well, they're going hard to hold this one. It's really cutting over. I think it'll catch the top 12 one, or
Or will this stop? Back 12.
Oh, it really spun in. Does it outcount the top 12 one? That'll be something to consider. Hard to know.
Big chance here for Quebec in this second end without Hammer, sitting 1.
Ouais, non, ça y allait.
Looks like Quebec might be third shot at the top.
Ouais, ça,
I think so.
plus agressif
From
en
that
pratique,
angle
là.
there.
Tu sais, on a passé 2-3. Puis t'avais le bon way d'après
I
moi.
was going to try and draw this around the top 4. It will leave Jamie still a shot on the back blue one. But again, I think Quebec's goal here is to force the 1. If they happen to get the steal, that's great. But they're in a great position to do that. I mean, the respect between these two teams, Jamie's going to make a lot of shots. And so you have to assume that he'll be able to get his 1. But it can make it really tough if he can hook this around in that top 4 scoring area.
Jean-Michel Menard in his first.
Line's good.
Real gentleman of the sport. He's
Elle va partir, la mienne.
very well respected player with his abilities and his sportsmanship as well.
Well, 15-8, they're going to have to go on this to drag it back with a 4 foot and get it by.
By the top one, just. How far is it going to go? It's going to be second shot. A great shot by a skip from Quebec.
Just perfectly thrown, and you saw how that'll cut across at the end if you've got the right weight. He kind of threw it to that spot with just a little bit of help.
Hair that corner and freeze the buck. Right on the back 4 one there. Maybe a hair less?
I think what he said is going to be right. You're going to have to just hair that corner guard. But if you can make this, you could set up the skip's deuce.
Line's good. Easy. Wait only.
Needs to curl.
Oh! Line's good. Yep. Hard line.
Going to navigate both those, the corner guard and the top
Hard call.
4 foot blue stone.
15-4, that's T-line. If they can drag it by that top.
Get by the top.
Whoa, wicket, wicket.
Little
Whoa,
kiss.
Whoa, whoa. Let it spin.
And see what it spins out.
Oh.
It was still spinning and not moving forward. So see this replay here. You'll get a great view of it. This rock kisses the top one, continues to spin.
On va juste
Spin.
pogner un tiers, la blaster.
It's like someone had a remote control.
Yeah. Great result for Northwest Territories, but Jean-Michel can still see it, trying to just pick it out of there.
Well, here's a great example where that top blue one, outcounting that back red one, is significant because we're going to see a few rocks leave here.
Whoa! Yes! Yes!
Below trying to hold the line. And the stone will go all the way to probably 4th shot.
I think he did the job that he needed to. Obviously would have liked to catch a little less, but I think it'll be Jamie drawing for 1 here. He just threw it though. He should feel pretty good with the weight. But we did see how close you come to the guard and how close you come to the top blue. So same ice, same throw.
I think I could take a sliver more.
I don't think he'll use the top blue to spin this one. I
No.
don't think.
And in fact, it's now a little more behind the other rock, so a little harder to even do that. Doesn't want to touch the top one, especially with T-line weight. It's got to be in the full 4.
And be a little careful too if that top blue one is sitting second. So want to make sure you get it into the house regardless. But
Easy,
coming to your
easy,
back
easy,
red
easy.
won't get you shot.
Easy.
A well
Get
played
off it.
end for Team
Let it
Quebec. Northwest Territories
Line's
facing
good.
1 on their final. Jamie
Room.
Cooey asked to hit the 4 foot.
Line's good. Room.
Line looks great. It's all weight now.
Still on the guard. It's got a curl.
Got to get by that guard.
Here it goes. It's by now.
Buy it. Whoa.
Just. Will it stop? You can exhale, Yellowknife. It's a single for Jamie Cooey. Nervous times there. He flirted with the corner guard on that one. So it's a 1-0 advantage for Northwest Territories.
As often is the case, the scoreboard doesn't tell you what actually happened there.
Yeah.
Great end of curling and just shot after shot being made.
So we're into Championship Sunday, as we mentioned. These two semifinals happening here at the Canmore Golf and Curling Club. We'll have the final for you later this afternoon, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, as we see the fans trying to start the wave here in Canmore. Should mention, this is the first event in almost 20 months with fans at a national championship, which Canmore has done a great job of pulling off. Last year, the event was canceled because of the pandemic. And it's really exciting to be back. Things feel a little bit different, but at the same time, Steve, it feels a bit normal, which I think players certainly appreciate. But as a fan and as someone who's close to the game, it's a pretty rewarding feeling to be all the work that's been put in by these local organizers and volunteers has really paid off.
Yeah, Canmore's done a tremendous job. They always do when they take on an event. They do it first class. And to your point about the players, I know in speaking to some, it's just great to have people out there cheering. They're so appreciative of that. It's something they missed, and they're really happy to have it back, even if it isn't for them.
Yeah, we see Jamie Cooey and members of his team as well, and New Brunswick also were playing in the curling bubble that was a great success last year just over in Calgary. But they'll all say they'd much prefer to be in this environment.
I mean, there were fans in the stands. They were just made of cardboard.
Yeah, they weren't as loud as they could not do the wave in Calgary. So it's good to have people back here cheering, and family and friends. Can't think of a better place in Canada that you'd want to bring your family or your friends or fans to than Canmore, even if it is snowing today.
Well, especially because it's snowing, because they can go out skiing after or just enjoying a winter wonderland with the mountains and stuff.
Erica Hobson, the lead from Ontario, was saying it's great because she knows she's leaving this tomorrow, but she's going to enjoy the snow and the beauty of it today. Corner guard goes up there by Quebec, and we have one rock behind the tee line for Northwest Territories.
Yeah, Ski Hill's just open too, so a lot of people flocking out there. So winter has begun, but in a very positive way, in a welcoming way for our communities here.
And curling is back. Megan Kohler, as we mentioned, 7 Scotties appearances, but the most recent one was back in 2018. They finished with a 1-8 record. Of course, she won a bronze in this event the last time it was held in 2020 with Jamie Cooey.
Two good rocks to start the end. There's the aggressive call to draw around. I like it. Going to try and force the play out wide, but also place a rock. The other one's behind the tee line, which is a help for Quebec. So we're going to leave it there in case they want to draw down to it or use it later.
Close line. Yep. Whoa. Close. Yes. Yan. Okay.
This one's looking really good.
We're good.
Weight looks good. Line looks good.
No.
C'est parfait. C'est parfait.
Glad I have you for this, draw, Steve. Nice corner guard, and it's nice to see they put up a corner guard and they're using the corner guard.
Top 8.
I like this from Jamie too. YJ said he could come around the outside. I think that one game with New Brunswick we saw 4 or 5 in a row, but I like this call, come around the center, force play back there, and Quebec, although they're going to build something on the outside, will eventually have to contend with these rocks in the middle.
Cole Parsons, we last saw him at the 2020 Brier in Kingston, just days before the world changed, at least in this part of the world. He's had 2 Brier appearances, finished with a 2-5 record in Kingston with Jamie Cooey as skip.
I want to try and get this in if they can for second shot. Jamie out there showing his sweeping prowess.
Yeah, stay warm. It's maybe a little cooler out there today.
That's still a very dangerous rock, something that can be advanced up, and Quebec tries to take that one out, it would slice across into their blue. So going to hit this one and roll.
Yes.
Moving inside, trying to back it up.
leaning on that. Look at the inside roll.
Well, great shot, and that run back's not there for the red just because it's slightly overhooked. So Jamie likely will draw down to it, though, because it is back behind the tee line and a chance to get one welded behind cover here and really shrink the scoring area for Quebec. Really important shot here for Parsons.
Hard then.
Top 8 they're calling, so gonna have to go on that.
Yep. Really need to get
Hard!
this out. Or at least make it a usable stone.
Yeah, this is gonna crash on the front if it gets there.
Straight.
Even top 8 at this point.
15-7 on the timing.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, Quebec has been in the driver's seat for the first, at least the last 2 ends.
Dès qu'on va là,
Now having hammer.
en même temps, si on y va pas, lui, il va. Ouais. Mais ça y est, ça.
yeah, I mean, I think this is the aggressive call coming around top 4. I mean, I think you could see a little bit worried about all those reds in the center. I mean, that is advantage for Cooey to use, but if he can get this in the top 4, I think he'll put it in a spot that'll make it hard for Jamie to get in and out count.
Big shot here by Ian.
Oh, positif. Positif là-dessus. Line's good. Yep. Yeah!
Looks light again here. They're going hard at it.
Both seconds coming up a bit light on this path.
That's right.
Probably a bit of a fresher area. A lot of the throws were down the right side, if we remember, in the first end on takeouts. Not sure we ever threw one out there, so probably a little stickier since they threw a different path
for
in
the
the second
run.
end.
Interesting
You
where it
make the
ended up
run.
because
Well,
it
you gotta
was
make it this way, I guess,
blocking
but-
that path pretty well now. And
We're still in trouble.
Quebec can probably hit that high side and see it spin in pretty easily.
Probably, eh?
If they need to later in the end.
I like this call if he hits a tap. The reason is that blue is slightly
Probably.
overhooked, so I don't think he can advance it back to the right. Probably
At least it
bounces a bit
opens
to
the draw,
left.
though.
You can just see in Jamie's body language, he's been chasing
We're in
these
it
last
now.
2 ends, and we're in
Back
it now,
forward.
he says.
That's
So,
it. Game on.
But you have a shooter in the hack here, Margot Fleming, who's made a lot of great shots this week. So none bigger needed at this point than this one.
Easy!
Now we're looking
Hard-
for
hard then.
14-5. Let's see where they get to. Looks light, though.
Hard, guys. Hard, you gotta bump it in the 8-foot.
Really got to go on this.
15-6. That won't be bumping
Hard,
very
get off
far.
that red.
Hopefully they'll rejiggle this around
Get
a
off
little
it.
bit.
Whoa.
It's a usable
Okay.
stone. It didn't overlap it, as Jamie was saying, and actually those 2 reds are pretty well lined up if for a bump if Jamie needs it, or maybe a run back. Not sure if it clips the other red on the way by, but there's a good shot of it. There'd be a drag effect on that.
It'd be really interesting if we hit that center one to see whether that
Non,
red
lui,
would
s'en va
sneak
là, c'est
by and go
certain.
back. But
Si on met un garde là, ouais.
either way, I
Je pense qu'on-
kind of like the situation
ce qui
for
va se
Northwest
passer.
Territories more than I do for Quebec, and I think you can hear that in
Peut-être
Bernard's voice.
ici, là, ouais.
He's got a good thing building with 2 in the house and that, but still, Jamie's got some rocks to work with, so really important shot here.
Talking to James Grattan a couple nights ago, saying when he was playing Jean-Michel Menard, he said, so much fun
Ring it
just
in.
seeing how
Whoa,
JM
whoa.
thinks ends ahead,
That was
and you can
out.
just tell what, scoreboard
Whoa, easy.
management, what you're going to do.
Yeah,
And then he
ring
said
it
at one
in.
point in the game, Jean-Michel
Easy.
said, kind of under his breath, I like playing smart
foul.
skips.
Mais là,
And
ici.
James said, I hope he was talking about
whoa.
me.
Whoa.
Wasn't sure, but yeah.
That was 13-8-3, so that's what we would expect back there. So we're still around that 14-5, getting tricked out here, maybe because they played on the left side and not readjusting to the right. But great chance here to get one in for Northwest Territories and eliminate those 2 blue stones that are counting right now.
Margot
Got
Fleming
room.
with her second.
Keep it high.
Made her first Scotties appearance last year in the bubble.
This one's 13-9, so I expect it to be back
quicker
against
out here,
the blue
right?
one.
Gliding. Right past the back one. Does touch it, but it's going to go out the back of the 12.
Well, made a good adjustment, just a little extra weight, so. Well, I think you'll see Jean-Michel call for the same shot as well and hope we get a 14-5. Big advantage now, Quebec, because their blue is now third, and now they have a chance to sink a fourth one in.
Marie-France Leroux, she's a phys ed teacher. Wanted to say hello to her students back home watching.
Yep. Yep. Say what? Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
15-1, this should be
Stop
good.
flying.
Top four, I think they
Go.
can get it there. Just
Go,
have to curl
go,
that.
go.
Trying to finish it
Hard,
now.
hard, 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 hard. OK, c'est beau ça. Nice shot.
Really good shot, and leaving it high means they also
double tap,
protect
5-1.
against that freeze on the back one on that. But you heard the double tap. I think that's what they're down to.
Try to get it right to here. Try to guard that on the way, right?
Nervous times for Northwest Territories. Without Hammer, the team from Quebec sitting 4.
Guess we're like back line.
I tell you though, he gets this just off nose and puts it back. He'll have a nice guard there. And he could be sitting one and get himself out of jail. So I think we said
Nose
it every
isn't
shot,
bad, but
and we'll
hair high is
continue to
perfect, yeah.
an important shot again. So trying to do a double tap back on the one you see in the top of the 12. Going to try to move that one back into this area if he can.
Looks like a lot, no?
He'll sit shot rock well behind cover.
Yeah, sliver high with back line or just through.
So just through would be throwing
I think
about
less still.
a 13-8.
Yeah, that looks good.
Wants it just off center of this rock on the outside.
Yep. Hard line. Hard Cole. You got to hold it.
Cole and Megan trying to hold
Hard
this. Now Cole
Cole.
sweeping away from the
Hard
curl.
Cole. Got to hold it.
What's he got? He'll bump it up,
Oh boy.
but only to third shot, and it is wide open. This is trouble now for Northwest Territories.
I think you'll see that be removed because it's a usable stone for Northwest Territories, and Menard has a lot of room to roll. There's a lot of coverage there, so just wants to make sure he rolls inside. Does not want to leave his rock open because that'll give Jamie the out in this end.
Sinon, on a juste à jouer plus fort puis moins de balais.
Ouais, je pense. On dit que ça, normal. Ouais.
Just really want to hit anywhere on the inside of this rock to remove it and get some sort of roll over. And while he doesn't want to roll out, that would be better than leaving it there as a usable stone for
Normal.
Jamie. Jamie still will have a double tap up front, although it'll be quite nerve-wracking, potentially facing 5.
Jean-Michel Menard, his first with Hammer, looking to really put the pressure on Jamie Cooey.
They've got to get this over.
Oh, he's getting nose.
Well, that's not what he wanted.
So an opportunity back.
Taking the was pretty quiet.
There you go. Jamie's, it's really using that stone
Well,
to
we
get
gotta roll.
inside
He's
more
got that
than
run
he's
for the wood.
removing it. So a quieter weight gives him a better chance for the curl.
I like a hack. Like I'd like it to roll down. Like if we're not perfect here, it's still getting 4. Well, no, it's right here with hack, right? Won't be any less than hack. Good hack, good hack, good hack. I don't think so. I was a little soft on you on that one. His just ran with weight.
Fascinating end here, Steve. It's
You know, you're
still got a chance here for Jamie Cooey.
Your Quebec, you're sitting 4, but again, it goes back to that very beginning of the end when Jean-Michel's looking at those front guards, and he knew throughout the whole end they were going to be something that could cause him grief. And that miss, which really wasn't a full miss, just a partial miss, leaving this opportunity for Jamie could result in a steal and one.
This could be a game saver for Jamie Cooey if he can get the hit and roll. Final stone. Just hack is what they're calling for weight.
Close.
Quarter of a rock.
Yep.
Would be perfect.
Whoa! Whoa!
He knows it. You can hear it in his voice. This is an important shot.
Just got to roll inside.
Whoa!
Just got to roll.
Whoa!
Close.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hit.
Whoa! Get off it!
And he gets shot. What a shot by Jamie Cooey to save the end and maybe the game early.
You could tell he was intense on that call down there. You knew it was close. You knew it was good. And what a great result.
Same weight.
He's still got a chance to get a multiple score here. Maybe came up a little too much for him if it had just stopped right on the nose, right there. But it rolled over, so it left it the other side. So Jean-Michel still has a shot, but it's certainly a lot harder than it could have been.
Yes.
That's pretty tough there, but
hit half a rock and could be 4.
Jean-Michel Menard, final stone, looking to hang a big score for Quebec. Gotta get by the top one. He's by. What a shot. He scores 3.
Shot.
Wow. Great shot by Jean-Michel Menard. It's a 3-score and a 3-1 game, but it could have been much more.
Well, there's an end where I think both skips are going, phew, even though one got 3 and one gave up 3. But what's some great curling. I mean, he hit everything he could see, and it was just
got
perfect.
by. I'll tell you, there's 54 Scotties or Brier appearances on this sheet. 27 Scotties, 27 Brier, and we saw some shot making there in those final 2 stones that were indicative of that. So.
Well, both have something to play for, and you mentioned that early, and they both came to play, and I mean throughout the whole end, not just in the skip shots. Obviously, they were a treat to watch, but all end. Lots of rocks in play, which makes for great curling and great spectating. Yeah,
we saw that end was Northwest Territories came up light on a few, and then were a little heavy, but credit to Quebec for. It's got to feel weird to get a 3 and maybe be a little disappointed, but still, you did it in a beautiful final shot. So I think, like you said, Steve, both skips will be happy with that result.
Okay, cool.
I think they were tiptoeing down the ice.
Yeah.
15-6, this should be just on the top. He's trying to get it in, though.
Half.
Jamie wasting no time, wants the corner guard, wants to get those points back, and will do so by using that free guard zone.
Line's good. Easy.
Trying to put this on the Canmore Brewery and Distillery logo, and wanted to give a special thank you to all the local sponsors, including them, Tourism Canmore Kananaskis, Mary's Popcorn Shop, as you'll see that come into view on the left there, Visions Electronics, Canmore Golf and Curling Club, of course, our wonderful hosts this week, Rome Transit, Canmore Brewery and Distillery, as we mentioned, Canmore Raft Tours, El Toquino Tequila, which John Morris was suggesting I give that a try this weekend. Golf Design Services Limited and Moosehead Breweries made this event possible, along with a host of volunteers and timers and score keepers.
Yep.
Dennis and his crew here have done a fabulous job at this championship.
OK, juste un drap. Juste un drap ici.
So just a draw. It's going to miss the top one, really curling.
Venez ici.
Just to bring this one back to the tee line.
Okay.
Looks like perfect weight for that. Good plan B.
Even with that one?
Yeah, and putting a guard over here on top of that blue, and the blue in behind the tee line means it can be used to freeze down to after as well. So that Brock helping Jamie, obviously Menard wanting to raise his own blue back closer to the center. So a bit of an opportunity here for Jamie.
Whoa, it's more. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Hard. Spot.
low-scoring affair in our other semifinal. It was Ontario getting a single in the third, so they lead 1-0. New Brunswick have hammer. You can find the score to that game and all the other statistics from this event at curling.ca/scoreboard. Ian Below with his first stone of the fourth end.
It's really cutting. Got to go hard to get by. I think it will wreck.
Whoa. Fair enough.
You just make this for now. Spin it up a hair. Nothing huge, just normal. Yep.
So double takeout, stick around.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Hard. Control. Why is he throwing them so soft? Hard. Get out of the way of that blue.
So you heard Jamie there say a little surprised by the control weight throw there, mentioning Cole might be underthrowing his hits a little bit this game so far.
Well, especially in that case, they wanted to remove both rocks, and so to do so, you were going to lose some energy as it hit the first. So maybe he wasn't quite sure what that was going to do, but yeah, certainly needed more weight for the double. Nevertheless, it stuck around. It is partially behind the guard, and something that could come into play later.
C'est correct, ça, on reste là.
They don't want this one short. They want to give another corner guard.
Not de billet. Oh, une paire de fesses de rein, c'est bon. C'est bon.
Oh, wait.
They're not overlapped, but they're awfully close.
Yeah. That's usable if they're not overlapped. If they are, that's a huge advantage for Northwest Territories. But we're going to try and draw around and get shot stone behind those two corner guards.
Hard early.
That thing's really going, though. They got to go hard to get it by. Weight looks fine if they get it by.
Whoa.
Just sneaking by the top ones.
Sit down for a shot.
Will they be shot?
Yep. Good.
Yes, Northwest Territories is sitting shot behind the corner guards.
Probably freeze down, or he's going to not take a chance. Nope.
Might be able to
devrait descendre par là.
spin it in, hitting the high side, so closest to JM's broom there, and see the Quebec stone maybe spin into the house. Marie-France LaRouche.
Whoa! Yep! Whoa!
Watch it spin.
Touche pas.
See where it goes. It might even curl into it. Touches it.
It does, and it pops it out to third shot.
Yeah, great shot.
Just great vision to see that, to know how to play it, know how much of the rock to hit.
It took the right turn, too, as it spun rapidly, but watch this here in the replay. Spinning towards it.
It's our only chance at a 2.
And like you said, Steve, moves it to sit third shot.
Here?
The Northwest Territories stone.
Yep. Nose or hair high?
Well, look, we're going to go for the run back here. Things not looking great for Northwest Territories now, so a shot here can really help.
Yep.
Margot Fleming, no doubt her teammates from her women's team are watching, or skip. Carrie Galusha, Jamie's twin. And they had a great run at the Home Hardware pre-trials in Liverpool. Where does this go? Catches the back of that stone.
Yep. Just something though, Jean-Michel can come behind. I wonder if he'll tuck one in the top 4 there. Does want to watch that red run on the blue. Does want to set up a double.
Ouais, lui, c'est sûr qu'il revient là.
Or you eliminate that one.
Jouez in ou out? Comme ça? Un
I
petit
like this
normal?
call because you're just taking away a big end for Jamie. If you try to draw around, you leave that run back double on that short run. All of a sudden, there's
No.
3 reds in the house, and now
Whoa,
you
whoa,
have to be
whoa,
worried.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa!
They are up 2.
Whoa! Yan! Yan! Whoa! Whoa! Annie!
Can't quite keep the shooter in the in the full 12. They will roll to 4th
Is
shot.
this, hey? Same weight?
Now, if he hits us on the nose or even slight in, he should be able to outcount that back biter and have these 2 scoring in there.
Yep.
Out of her hand. The
Hard!
Kui calling for the sweep.
Hard! Hard, Cole! Right to it.
Doesn't
Right to
want
it.
to lose that run in stone.
A lot of spin. That's going to spin out the back. So great shot, great separation. Would have loved that one to not roll into the open, but still.
Sitting 1 and 3, it looks like, from the overhead.
See if we get confirmation here.
Ah ouais?
Oh, maybe I was a bit aggressive. If they're looking, it's close. Oh,
Ouais.
Marie-France pointing to the Quebec stone. So looks like it is perhaps shot. They'll have another few looks. Little whistle
Ouais.
there by Jam.
Je pense qu'on va frapper ça, rouler là.
Once again, playing the scoreboard, not going to try and draw one in behind. Going to hit this and try to get sitting 1 and 2.
Had John Morris in the booth last night. We were
Bouncing up.
reminiscing about the Moosa-meter from the TSN, Ray Turnbull's little. Let's see if I can give it a try here this morning. I've only had 1 coffee, but we'll see. Oh, no, it definitely didn't get the first try at it. Let's see what we get here. The unofficial Moosa-meter. But not exactly scientific, so.
Yep.
I like it, though.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hard!
So remove the stone, doesn't get the roll to be shot. Jamie will have a look.
Yeah, but even if he plays his red back onto the blue, he would have
by
sit
hair.
1 and 2.
We're doing with this.
He might just, draw down to
Tap
the
him a
next.
feather.
So yeah, I think Jamie confirming
Comes up
that
when I
he
split
thinks they're also shot. Quebec also is shot.
Well, we need to miss anyway.
I think the shot is to come down. Oops.
Got the Moosa-meter out of control.
Got the moose out of control.
They're gonna miss.
Come down to here and just wants to bump it back just a little bit so that he is sitting 1 and 2. It certainly will give,
back
as he said, need a miss because it'll give Jean-Michel the chance to draw down on top, forcing him to draw again. But sometimes you need a miss to get your multiple.
Make sure. I think they can carve it light.
Jamie played a couple
Go throw
draws,
it back 8 and sweep it once you got a good line.
draws on this side, but not quite as far out in the second end.
Gotta bump him a couple.
And this one's
inch.
going to be a little bit heavier because he wants to bump it, as you heard him say, just an inch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna overthrow this, guys.
All right, he's going to give it to
We got
sweepers.
line, we'll
Let's
go
get
for
a
sweep, but we gotta be frozen.
good time on this.
That's perfect.
He likes it.
Whoa! Yep. Hard line. Hard Cole, hold it.
Got to get by the top
Hard
red.
Cole.
It's
Keep
14-4, so they can get it back there and
Whoa.
bump it.
Looks like a great shot.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Just wants to move it a little
let
bit.
It sit, let it sit.
And he does just that. What another great shot by Jamie Kui to sit 2 with hammer this end.
Yeah, and if you try to pick that out, it's going to jam. So really having to play the run back and try to pick it off that way.
Jean-Michel wasting no time with the call here. That last end maybe it ate up a bit of time for both teams as well.
Field.
Oh, he's going to try and peel this back, take both out. Two scenarios are blue sitting 3 or 4 with a draw from Jamie, just needing full 8, or it could be a draw for 2, depending how this gets executed.
Big shot here. The skip from the Etchemin and Descollins
Yep. Whoa.
curling clubs.
Annie.
Curl up a little bit.
Oh, just misses the back Northwest Territory stone.
Probably the best pass, eh?
It will force Jamie to the other turn and the other path. He hasn't played this this game.
Would that have been what he would have used for his last stone draw in the pregame?
Yes.
So some familiarity, knows where to place the
Full
broom
speed
and
here,
wait,
eh?
but yeah, it depends on how many rocks have come down. So good news is you're sitting
speed
one,
here.
so you're trying to draw in for your second, and you
I'm dead
literally
middle
need to
of
be
the
just 2 inches into the 8 foot. Well, we'll get a bit
All
of a
you guys,
time
yeah.
here.
Fully.
14.5 is what he needs.
Give me a hair more.
Final stone. Looking to tie things up at the break. Jamie Cooey needs a piece of the 8 foot.
Easy, Cole. Easy, Cole. It's in the quick path. Easy, Cole.
Light clean now for the front end. It
like it
just
grabbed something.
took off. I don't know if this is going to get by.
you
That
kidding
just
me?
took off. And
No.
that's in a very bad break for Northwest Territories. And it will just be 1.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there. It really took off.
Yeah.
Must have grabbed something. 'Cause he had good rotation on it. It was good delivery. Nothing seemed to be
Oh, yeah.
out of norm, and then it just
Freaking gone right away.
went.
So a 3-2 lead Quebec has at the break. They'll have hammer as we return. Stay with us. It should be an exciting finish here in Canmore at the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships. We'll be back after the break.
One might say I was born to overcome challenges. 2 months premature, in and out of the hospital, and a heart condition. My parents call me their miracle baby. As with all survivors, I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now, and at only 12, I am already a 5-year veteran of this sport. I have my sights set on the Olympics. I will push hard to get there. The only size that matters in this sport is the size of your dreams.
Sweep! Sweep! Hurry! Hurry! Hard! Hurry hard! Hard! Hurry hard! 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 Woo! We should really be curling.
This ice is everything. It's where I come to feel close to her, to feel whole. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My dad is my rock. We're a team now. Like the four of us when we step on the ice. People say that this isn't a contact sport, but that's not true. It contacts you where you need it the most.
The game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
Snowy, white, beautiful day here in the Bow Valley in Canmore as teams chase another color, gold, here at the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championship. Darren McEwen alongside Steve Young, and a really unfortunate break there by the team from Northwest Territories. A pick on Jamie's last draw for 2. You got a time on that, Steve. It looked like it was probably going to end up top 8 at least.
Yeah, the timing was perfect. It just took that sideways turn, and they just couldn't recover from it. So important now. They had the break. I'm sure they talked about it. It's just reset. They're in the game, playing well, and so is Quebec. So we're in for a real great finish to this one.
Yeah, they have to think 20 minutes ago. I think Jamie Cooey would be happy to be within 1 point. They had a real exciting third end there. Jamie making a great hit and roll, and Jean-Michel with a beautiful slash to score 3. So if you're Quebec, Steve, what will you be talking about at the break?
Just keep it going. They've been curling really, really well. They've been controlling more ends than they haven't, and just keep playing the way they're playing, keep making shots. I think you'll see Jean-Michel want to keep this a little more open, maybe. Lots of rocks in play gives a chance for Northwest Territories to come back, so it'll be interesting to see if they try to keep it more open or if they keep the pedal down and try to score the big end again, because they've had those opportunities.
As we often see in the 5th end, the lead stone coming a little deep. We get the mop between ends. Sometimes speeds that up, so Annie LeMay's rock will go back 8, and Megan Kohler loop one around the guard, and that's going to be top button.
Yeah, and just pop out the other side as we see so much curl on the ice that when the guards are that far out, you kind of have to miss them by a foot in order to get it right behind.
Quebec seeking their 3rd national mixed championship for the province. Last one coming just in 2020. It was Jean-Sébastien Roy winning that in his home province. Back-to-back titles will be special, but got to get by Jamie Cooey's rink first, and Annie will remove her backstone as well, but sitting 1.
I don't think they'll worry about that.
Yeah.
Probably happy. So we might end up with a pretty open end here. Once this is removed, I think you'll see the center guard be hit off by Quebec, and see how Jamie Cooey reacts.
These two teams in this semifinal, we have the semifinal beside us as well. It was James Grattan with a hit for 2, so he leads Ontario's Mike McLean 2-1 after their break. Find the scores at curling.ca/scoreboard.
Normal.
Well, perfect hit and roll there, so we'll remove the center guard here, and then we'll see Jamie, I'm sure, step up and try and replace that.
Yep. Okay.
Loser in this game will still play this afternoon. They will be playing for bronze. The crossover with the other semifinal loser, and
Halfway max. Halfway's perfect.
Jamie Cooey already has a bronze, has a silver, so he would like to complete his podium at this event.
Is that a thing? Do you actually do that? Could you?
I'm sure, yeah.
You got a little card up there, and it's got you on all 3.
Yeah.
Love it.
Own the podium.
Hard.
Yeah. We got the moose meter. We got the podiums.
Switch.
This is all about putting it in the spot, which is so hard to do a guard with the type of swingy ice we have. But this looks like a great one. Just gotta get it over to center.
Toughest shot this week was that, I would say.
Oh, that's perfect.
Cole did it very well.
You know, you'd almost have to think if you were in a close game, you'd want to be New Brunswick. I think they've had the most extra ends this week, or at least the most ends that have come down to last skips rocks. There's been a ton of them, and they probably come out more times than not ahead. Oh, great little peel off here, and Jamie's going to replace it again. He's got a great rock just in the top 4, so I think keep trying to guard that as long as he can.
Back to draw 1 when these two teams played each other, and it was Northwest Territories who came out ahead, winning 8-3. But at the break, it was a 2-2 tie. And Northwest Territories. It was pretty much a very close game, and the Northwest Territories put a 3 on at the end, but they were.
Gotta go.
They held Quebec the whole game to just single points.
Already got it.
So very good pressure in that game. It feels a little bit different here with Quebec having more pressure applied to Northwest Territories, at least for the first half.
Yeah, and that 3 and 8 is usually not indicative, because in the last end, it doesn't matter if you give up 5, 6, or 7. You really well, it does if you give up 8, because some memory you may not want. But
you don't want to make those history books if you're
you're either trying to score or because you're trying to win the game. So. Well, but a cat and mouse game here. We're going to put this guard back up. They've found the line for it and seem to have the weight for it. So expect this to be very close.
Well,
Well, this thing a little more out of her hand.
Whoa.
Margot Fleming. She curled with Waterloo Warriors, University of Waterloo, before moving up to Northwest Territories.
Megan. Whoa.
16-3, that's a good guard weight. Still think we'll chase the top one.
On enlève encore. Ouais, on essayé sur l'intern, mais à part plus de même. Je pense qu'on fait juste enlever encore une dernière fois.
Well, I was considering coming the other way and hitting both 3/4, which could have been the double run back, but electing to do what they know here and take this one off and see if Northwest Territories can put another perfect guard up, because that's not easy, even if you've done it time after time. No question on that. Peel it off. Jamie will want this one just a little bit higher to try and take that away. Jean-Michel might be thinking at some point, do I draw in behind into the 4 foot and try and get a deuce? But I don't think so. He's sort of ahead on the scoreboard and ahead with hammer.
Less for me, Margot.
I think you'll see him hitting all the way through.
I think it's even less than that for me. Yeah. Easy line. Easy line.
Right, 2 is usually a middle guard, so 2.5 would be somewhere closer to the house than the halfway mark. Close to the second loon.
Whoa. Yep. Hard, gotta go.
You got to get this one over, though.
You gotta go. Gotta go.
Finish it. Get some of it buried or covered.
I think you'll see a soft weight hit on this one and probably roll to the side.
See, a good half of that stone. So Jean-Michel putting the broom down for a hack weight, quiet hit and roll, as you mentioned, Steve.
Yeah, it'll force Jamie into a decision. Does he try and draw around the center and get the steal, or does he try to just hit, in which case it'll give Jean-Michel the chance to blank the end. Well, that's a lot of patience by Quebec. Took all the way to here to have enough of an opening to go at that center line. That was a great job by Northwest Territories throughout the end to put those guards up.
Whoa. Close. Whoa, 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 whoa. Annie.
Annie being asked to make this curl.
Go, Annie. Go,
Got a
Annie.
piece of it.
Jan, go, Annie.
Almost got a nose hit with half a rock exposed. So.
Yeah.
But
I'm a little bit surprised they weren't on it early to take it over. You've given Jamie a great opportunity here to throw the same type of weight, and he just needs a off center by an inch, a little over that, and it'll roll right in behind. So a little surprised he didn't roll that further away or try to, because it did seem like he might even be trying to get the inside roll. So.
Cooey and Fleming would have just watched this same line on the Menard stone. A chance to hit and roll on his last.
Whoa. I think you'll see a brush down, though. After.
Yes.
Whoa, cool.
Even with that last one taking off a little bit for them.
This looks really good from our advantage.
Gotta go.
Hit.
Hard call. Hard.
You leave a bit exposed, a bit of a teaser, and Jean-Michel won't even try to chase it. Just going to draw for the single. So job well done there by Northwest Territories throughout that end to put up some great guards and great execution on Cooey's last to force Quebec into a single here.
And I really like this call. It'd be easy. You can see a quarter of it. It'd be easy to try to chase it. But the last thing you want to do is give it momentum. You have a 2-point lead. You're in the driver's seat. Don't even risk it.
Final stone. Jean-Michel Menard needs full 8 foot to go ahead by 2.
Ligne verte, à vous autres. Elle glisse pas mal, là. OK, parti. Line's good. Yep.
Yeah. Starting to go on them here. They don't want to crash that red. Looks good, though. Looks good. Just all wait.
Where will this stop? Right on the button. Jean-Michel Menard to take a 4-2 advantage as we head to the 6th end.
Well, as we take a peek on the sheet next to us as we wait for this end to start, New Brunswick's got 1 rock left, and there's 3 blue in the house. James having to make a decision if he tries to choke off 2 of them by freezing on a rock on the top of the house, or it'll be interesting. We could have some points coming our way in a few minutes there.
Yeah, Ontario is throwing blue and has hammer sitting too, as you mentioned, Steve. So we'll update you on what happens there in a key end. It's been a fairly defensive game so far, and our game, with the exception of that last end and the first end, it's been very exciting, even those 2 ends, but a much more aggressive game here in this feature sheet as we watch Annie Lemay throw her first.
And again, trying to come in the house here, I think, as we said earlier, they want to keep a simple game going home. They've got the advantage, and you'll see Jamie Cooey, Northwest Territories, try to get some rocks in play and generate some action. I don't think corner guard.
Easy, guys. Are you sure? Easy. Yeah, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. It's going hard now. Okay. Right on that sign. Margo a bit, Margo a bit, Margo a bit.
You know, it's funny, I don't know how long it's been since we've got all these different logos that go in the ice, but certainly the players use them as identification points.
Yeah, it can be quite helpful. It can also be a pretty good tripping hazard, too. but these players have figured it out. James Grattan made a pretty good shot in his last, but I think Ontario might have a chance here for a deuce. We'll keep you updated on that other semifinal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a shot there to try and get 3 or 4, but I think they're going to play the smart move and go for their 2.
Line's good.
Annie LeMay trying to find the top of the forefoot, the top of the Three Sisters, as we watch this logo come into play.
It's about exactly where he put his broom and wanted it.
Bobby.
But Jimmy's going to ignore those and draw around the guard he asked for. And as he said, top 8 buried.
Line's good. Room. Room. Room.
It's got to come down a bit. It's running a bit on them.
It's got a curl, too.
Sliding.
Whoa. Margot, we got to bury this, guys.
Want to make sure they get some behind.
Gotta go.
Ontario has cracked it open with a big 4 spot on the other semifinal, so they lead New Brunswick 5-2. Mike McLean making a tap on his last. We'll keep updates on that at curling.ca/scoreboard. As we watch Ian Below from Quebec deliver his first stone of the 6th end.
Ligne est bien close. Just le weight. Non, elle va être belle. S'il y a le bon weight, elle va être belle. Elle est partie. Attention. Attention. No.
Yep. A great shot coming in here.
Don't want to bounce too much on this, and I think they've got a great one. Nice result by Ian.
Bobby.
They do, but Jamie won't be upset with that. They've got rocks in play, and, you know, at some point they'll get jiggled around a bit, and you know what? This is a way he's going to generate a multi-score. And it's all going to the side right now, so.
Got room all the way. Line's close, though. No bounce. Lines get close. Yep. Whoa!
Just anticipating that curl as they have had to do all week.
Just need this to slow down and stop.
Yep. No. Straight. Good.
Good shot there.
Quebec still sitting 2 by the looks of it.
I would be surprised if he rips the guard here, but maybe not.
Pardon? Ouais. Tu vois quoi?
I might try to pick this out too, or at least shove it over into the 12. Couple of options for sure. I like this one though. That's the rock that's going to hurt them. That's the rock that's going to let Jamie score multiple.
Ouais, ça c'est dur si jamais pogne pas le bon angle. Juste l'enlever pour tout de suite.
So he is going with the peel.
Now to your point, he's sitting 2, so get rid of this and he'll have access to all those reds.
Okay.
Ian's had a great game this game.
Well, does Jamie replace that guard, or does he make a play on the center? Interesting to see.
Halfway.
Oh, going to replace the guard. It's a smart move because that's what's going to let him score the multiple.
Cole Parsons. Plays competitive men's with Jamie Cooley.
Line's good. Hard then. Hard. Keep it straight. Hard.
try and get it on the logo. Does the trick, though.
Clean, clean.
Probably see maybe one more of those guards. At some point, though, he's got to play on these rocks.
He's looking at it.
I think you want to hang it right here. Kind of weight you like.
I like this call because it's a way to get rid of one and give them a guard, but in the house, but still a guard nonetheless. Not worried about the double, more worried about getting the rock over on top of that.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Megan.
Just to curl up a little more,
Yep,
wants to stick around.
No roll, no
Gets
roll.
one.
Gotta sit.
Rolls over. Little far, or a little too much of a roll you can hear in Jamie's voice. Quebec still sitting 2. With hammer. Sorry, Northwest Territories having hammer.
Yeah, and that little extra roll means this is pretty well a nose to get rid of 2 when it goes through that hole. So an easier shot for Quebec, but still has to be executed.
Yes! Hard! Hard!
Trying for the double, Marie-France LaRouche just chips it, and now Quebec is only sitting the 1.
Some options here for Jamie.
Here. Or you do this, but if you don't make the roll, kind of like this. Got to hold that angle right in the pocket. You can come take a look at it if you want. I don't think so, but I'd rather be in front of it than move it anywhere.
So the concern with the hit, which might be the obvious shot, is if you don't roll, you leave an easy double across, which right now that top red is in a great position.
A lot of respect for the hitting abilities of both of these skips and thirds of their opponents.
Yeah, they don't.
Sorry, Steve.
So they don't have to make a play on that blue one yet. It's exposed, it's open, and where they pick this one will give them access to it, even if Menard decided to guard. So I do like this call. It gets another rock in play, and it's an offensive-defensive play.
Yeah, a setup shot.
That's it. So looking to half-corner freeze on their red rock here.
Doesn't look like a lot of ice from what we've seen from some of the others, but
I agree, but maybe it's a little straighter down the middle path they found.
Looked like a rocket.
Jamie thought this was a bit strong in Margot's hand. Back 8.
We got to hold the line. Whoa, whoa. Cole, you got to hold the line. We got to keep this angle. Hard.
Keep the angle. Bump is
Hard,
okay.
Cole, keep it straight. Hard. Sit on that thing.
I think it's pretty good, Steve.
I do too. It's got enough of an angle that I don't think you can get rid of that, the red one. I think both red will stay, but like the game of chess, a lot of pieces that are there right now.
Yeah.
His worry if he plays off of the
Ouais, on l'essaye juste off nose de même.
Worry is if he hits it back into here, it could bump that one over, and then the red will spin and stay here. So he wants to be very careful when he plays his shot. The ideal shot would be to pick it through the hole if he could.
Puis là, si je roule pas assez, j'ai un double. Parce que si on part même, elle est... Ouais. Juste off nose, Theo.
So it looks like he's playing
putting the off-nose peel. He's going to shoot this one through. He's okay if it hits this onto this and loses that, because this one will move over. So he's just trying to open this area up, get rid of some of that backing, so that on his next shot he can hopefully hold them to 1, 2 at the most. Certainly Northwest Territories done a great job this end to build a scenario where they can score some multiples, and Jean-Michel has to be a little careful. But expect this one to be made just off center. Bullet.
Yes, this one's headed to Banff. Touches the other stone, and that's not what Jean-Michel wanted, because Northwest Territories is now sitting second and third stone with hammer. And Jamie Cooey has a chance to split these two with a hit and roll to the open side.
Yeah, and different than the last one, he hits and sits on nose. It's a steep angle. I don't see the double. There's a slash double, but not a straight-on double. If he rolls too much, there might be a crosshouse double for Jean-Michel, which he'd be very capable of making. So I like his original call, which is hit on nose, sit right there.
Terrible. I'm just in control, right? I just don't want to throw board because this is not going to roll very far.
So he wants to hit this rock and either sit here,
try to get to the tee line if you can,
here, so that it's not an easy,
hit
it's a steep double for last shot for Jean-Michel. So a big opportunity here for Northwest Territories to execute this shot and make it really hard for Jean-Michel to hold them to 1.
First big chance, I would say, this game where Northwest Territories could possibly hang a crooked number. They had a chance for 2 in the 4th end, and an unfortunate pick.
Hard.
Jamie now is looking to try and generate a 3 score if he can here.
Really want to keep it on the outside of this. They don't want it to roll towards the red.
Keep going!
Really, Cole Parsons leaning on this to keep it there.
Whoa, whoa, no roll.
That's really good. There is probably I'd say a 3rd rock double, though.
Interesting, too. There
Might
could
even be a triple.
Yeah, and even still, if Jean-Michel can make this double, it could be tough for Jamie to get rid of it, too. So, because there is the 3rd stone catcher at the back as well.
Yeah, which can work both ways. It could catch it, or it could knock them both out. But looks a little better than I think Jean-Michel thought it would.
Opts to play the
out turn, which I think will give him a better angle off the spin of the rock to get to a flatter deflection off. The in would give it a steeper. Important shot here, a chance to really get out of a jam. We're looking at giving up 3. They might be able to.
You had me confused because the ice is pretty much negative almost on this. Jean-Michel Menard needs a big one here. Get his team out of a bit of trouble. Hit and roll. Will let go over the top. It does.
Oof, now Jamie, does he make a play for this?
Pass.
So he's going to go for just his 2.
The fun that pick.
This is the ice and the path on the pick.
No, I like this.
He likes it still.
Well, it's even ends, so score here, and it's like a beginning of game all over. It's 2 ends to score left, and it's like a 0-0 game. So it's a tough shot for 3, and there's risk with it that you only get 1, and it's more important he scores his deuce and evens it up. Yep. You saw a little extra step in his foot there, I think.
Yeah, that's a bit of a smile, too. So.
Oh, you guys are in the 4-foot.
Right in the 4-foot. Jamie Cooey looking to hang the first multiple on the scoreboard for the Northwest Territories in this semifinal. Chasing history, looking to become the first team from Northwest Territories to ever win a national curling championship. But they really got to sweep this to get it to the 4-foot. Margot Fleming coming out to help. Got to get a piece of the 4. Cole's backing out. And that's not going to make it, so it's just a single and a missed opportunity.
Oh, yeah. A little unfortunate there for Jamie. I don't know. They'd thrown it up down that path. It wouldn't have been a surprise, the weight. He did give it to the sweepers, but I'd say 4 inches too short. Big break for Quebec. They weren't looking good there a couple of shots earlier, so I think they'll be very happy to get away with what's happened.
We'll head to the 7th end with Quebec having hammer in a 4-3 lead. You see a shot there of our other semifinal. It is New Brunswick with throwing red stones. They're trailing by 3, have hammer right now. Ontario is blue. So James Grattan is going to try a double on his first stone. We'll keep you posted on the results there. You can check out the scores at curling.ca/scoreboard. So some work to do for Northwest Territories.
High guard. We'll see a high guard here, and then we'll see a close guard on the next one. Really important to execute this so they can get some rocks in play. And
Just over, guys. Hard line if you can. Curling. Okay, just over. Losing line, losing line, losing line.
over and off, as they say.
Yeah.
Shot.
Tell you, the number 1 guard position, one of the hardest rocks to throw, because hog is in your mind all the way down.
A miss is never fun.
Great execution there to get the high guard. But we'll want to keep this top of the house as well. Quebec going to draw around.
Lingebert.
Likes the line. Lingebert.
Attention. Yes! Oh, c'est pas grave, il la frappera pas.
That will pop out the other side, but it is in the front of the tee line, which I think is the most important thing for Quebec right now.
Absolutely. Jamie just ignoring it. They're going to throw the close-in guard now. They'll want it right behind this one.
Looks like a lot.
Leave that blue rock exposed on this side. They won't
Line's
want
good.
to stagger these.
Whoa. Whoa, guys. Whoa, it's got to sit. It's got to sit for line. Good.
Great shot there. 2 wonderful ways to start the end. That lead position is so critical in the game now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With the free guard zone, it makes those 2 of the most important shots thrown in the end. Well, Quebec's going to come around again and try and put one on top of the blue they just threw, probably a little bit more towards the outside.
Line's good. Line's good. Ma ligne est belle, moi. Ligne est parfaite. Ligne est parfaite, juste ici. Attention, attention. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alors, laisse-la aller, laisse-la aller.
Don't want to go too deep
Allez,
on
tout ça,
this.
ouais, pas méchant. Still going. Sorry.
Burnt the stationary stone, but I don't believe moved it at all. Chuckle between the 2 veterans.
Back here? Yeah. Hair high, back line. Make sure you get the 7 back here.
So a setup shot. Just going to draw down on this and hoping to move one behind the tee line, which will be to their advantage.
Yep.
Going hard to hold the line.
Yeah, this looks like it might be on the front.
Margo.
One of them.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, it ended up okay. It gives them a usable rock exposed on the outside. Jean-Michel, though, wasting no time. He's going to try and get rid of some of these center rocks.
Both these teams having over 10 minutes left to play, so time won't be a factor as we finish out this semifinal. Ian below with his first stone. Straight peel is the call. Shooter will go with it as well.
Yeah, got 3/4 of that, still got it across. So.
You got to get the 7 back here.
All right, well, they still have the guard out front, plus the other in the 12, so has to throw the same shot again. Really important that this one gets back on the blues and moves them around.
Whoa. Clean, yep. Whoa. Margot. Come on. Come on.
Looks like it's
Whoa,
by. Really good throw there.
That's it. Good.
Yeah, really good shot.
Jamie likes it. Other semifinal, James Grattan drew to the 8-foot for a single, so he's narrowed the deficit to 5-4. Ontario having hammer as they get set to play the 7th end.
Aye. Control.
Right, hit and roll to the center here with control weight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Marie. Hard, Marie. OK. C'est bon, Yann.
Didn't want to jam it, at least. I don't think they'd be too upset if they move the back one, but
You do the same thing off this, no? Like that. Get that 2 back here. Get this guy back there. Leave you 3 buried. Yeah, you're probably throwing back line.
That really good call here. Again, using his stone to advance it back, and he's keeping the blue rocks in play. It's going to make it harder. Jean-Michel's going to want to hit things, but with all the blues lined up in the back of the house, it will be a little trickier for him as he executes those shots.
Margot Fleming has had a fantastic week here in Canmore.
It's got to curl a mile.
This team coming in with a 9-1 record.
Close. Go, 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 go. Hard hook. Cole, help her.
She's up against another veteran third,
Get that
Mary Frost LaRouche.
Needed a little more weight, but it was a bit out, so fortunate that it was less weight. Does pop the blue out into the open, but I think you're going to see Jean-Michel continue to remove red stones here. Well, removes the guard, but it does leave Northwest Territory still on a good position that they can advance their red back on the blue.
You gotta go here right now? Timeout.
So timeout called by Jamie Cooey. See if we can listen into the team discussion.
And you make it, she's got a pretty simple double. We gotta get that one behind the rings if we do anything. Or you do the same thing.
My first thought was that.
I like the same thing.
The little bump.
We gotta get that back 4. And then, I don't care where your shooter goes. As long as we get a back 4, that double is.
I think we gotta play with more ice like that last one and carve it in, eh?
We gotta get a back 4. So we need more weight, right?
Yeah, we need more weight.
Yeah, I don't think more ice. With more weight?
No, I just mean like, don't tighten it.
You want to get it right beside that and keep it thin. So you're going to have to throw more weight because we got to get it back there.
Like hack?
And then these doubles are jamming on something, right?
Do you like hack? That was probably just back line.
Yeah, it was soft. Yeah, yeah. I'd say, yeah, good back line is probably your weight. Get this beside this, Margot. Right here. Yeah, I think it's back line.
So back line is the weight call, Steve.
Yeah, it's going to try and advance his red one in. we'll see what, again, lots of options here. It's lots of rocks in play. And they talked about last one was a little light, just making sure there's a little extra weight here, because light wouldn't be their friend on this. They need a
Clean. Yep. Yes.
It's like a great shot.
Yes. Hard.
Cole trying to hold the line.
Sit.
Drop. It's great, like they said, things will jam on the back, so Jean-Michel has to be very careful here as he makes his next shot. Got 3 red stones in the control zone, so that's very good for Northwest Territories.
It's been a chess match, many of these ends. You can see it in the face of Jean-Michel as he sorts this out. Mary Frost coming down to also take a look at the angles. Thumbs up. She's back to the hack. Got it.
I think they're seeing the same thing. Remove that, the rock that's causing the most grief, the one in the center, and run it into the other red one and hope that both of them get out.
Big shot for the Scotties silver medalist.
Yep.
Mary Frost LaRouche.
Yes!
And she makes it.
Great shot there.
Suddenly there's just one red in the house for Northwest Territories without hammer.
For that.
Well, the good news though for Jamie here is he can draw right down on that one sit shot, and he will have third rock as well. So
hair high, yeah.
You know that Jean-Michel's going to try and remove it, so he will be able to sit 2 on his last, assuming it plays out like that. Key though, Jamie wants to get right down on this, and as he says, leave it a hair high.
Jamie's missed a couple of key draws in this game. One though was on a pick.
It's going to be fullback 4, guys.
Just had one where he was a couple feet light. So we've got to park that as he gets in the hack to throw.
As you said, the quickest pre-shot routine.
Yeah.
Wait's close. Just T. Fullback 4. Whoa. Line's okay. You got to lock it on there, Cole, all you. Line's tight, if anything. You got to lock it. No, wait only. Lock it. Wait only.
It's got a great one. They got to get it back as far as they can.
Great communication all throughout that, telling Margot, communicating which sweeper needed to be closest to the stone. Sweepers letting them know the weight. Enough separation, though, that Jean-Michel can play the double here. It might jam, but I think he's most worried about is just keeping it open for his last.
Yeah, and if he tries to play the pick, even if he does the pick, it's going to leave the same shot for him, which forces him to draw for 1. So I like this play. He has 2 rocks left, so if it doesn't go well for him, he'll have a shot to get out of it. So...
And out the back door. Quebec sitting 3. Jean-Michel Menard with a beautiful shot. He has not missed much this game.
Well, I think you're all in here, Jamie. He's going to have to draw down and put a perfect freeze. He just threw it. He should know it.
If I do anything else, he's got the same thing. No. I think we're either freezing or we're playing a flop in a roll and hope he misses the run. Same spot he just threw it.
Yeah, where do you hide when you're playing Jean-Michel Menard? He's playing in the 90s probably at this point.
Well, what, 1.25 foot more he needs on this. They know the ice, they know the weight. Expect this to be really close, but he does want it locked right on. And then it'll be interesting to see if Jean-Michel draws to it to take the 1, or if he tries to slash to end the game.
Perfect.
Final stone for the skip from Yellowknife, Jamie Cooey. Without last rock, facing 3.
I'm out there. I'm out there early.
He's down
Line's
by
good.
1. Annie
Oh, that
LeMay
line's
with the
good.
hand up that it is a bit
You gotta
heavy.
freeze it. It's on you, all you. Line's perfect.
Giving a heads up to the Quebec back end to get ready to sweep
Whoa,
this if it
guys.
bumps. It's
A little bit heavy.
gliding.
Whoa! Gotta
Line's
sit
pretty
hard.
close.
Sit.
Get on the face is most important. Look
Oh,
at
it
that
came down
shot.
very nicely. Wow. Crucial draw for Jamie Cooey. And
Great shot.
yeah, and you heard it there. Jean-Michel acknowledging great shot to Jamie.
Prendre un point, j'aime pas.
I can't see any blue
No.
behind it from here. So now it's a tricky question. Do you draw for your
Look
one?
at that.
Or is there a way to get it off?
Bang.
Been a few times this game where you've been thinking
Faut que je la pogne plus loin,
Northwest
c'est ça.
Territories might be out of it. Or if Jamie just misses by, an inch or two, even early in the game, and they've been able to hang on.
On last end, a critical shot to get to comes up short.
Yeah.
This end parks that, like you said, and puts the absolute perfect shot down.
Le peel du joueur.
Again,
In, là.
if he catches under a quarter of this, I think he can squeeze it out and maybe still score 2. You'll definitely lose the back blue, but no more than 2. The other shot they looked at was running the top blue back into it and having those go, and maybe this one spin over and get to that way.
Parce que là, comme plus
He also had the
par-dessus,
broom just to see how much clearance he has if he can play, and it looks like he is going to play his intern. Yeah, his intern here. He has enough clearance.
Prendre un point, j'aime pas.
Going to be flirting with that stone, the blue stone you see on the left side. He confirmed with Ian that he has enough room.
Surprised he's coming this way, other than it could be that. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Unless he's playing negative ice again. That could be.
Looks like it is the intern. Jean-Michel Menard.
Yes!
Looking to
Yes!
squeeze out that territory stone. Watch it spring. Not far enough, and it will be a steal of 1 for Jamie Cooey. And it's a 4-4 tie as we head to the 8th end. Don't go anywhere.
Well, great shot making. That was all really close by Jean-Michel. Not too far off squeezing that one out.
Yeah, if he had hit he cleared his stone on the left by quite a bit. So if he'd hit just a little bit higher, it would have probably sprung to the closer to the 12-foot.
He must have felt that the red was a little closer to the center line, and being so close, any little bit of advantage. That must have been why he chose to come that way. Was concerned about the guard, but obviously he wasn't.
Yeah.
And he's out there throwing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up here with you.
Same.
I think there's a bit of a trend, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've gone 7 ends, and we're right where we were at the beginning, just a little bit smarter and having watched some great curling. So this should be an exciting last end. This guard is absolutely important. So
A lot of room right now.
Mentioned earlier in the game
Let it
that
work.
Northwest Territories have only given up 5
it's
stolen
curling, it's
points
curling.
all game, and
Grab something.
still the same this game. It kind of
Hard to
feels like
grab.
there's like
You're over.
that they've
Hard.
given up steals, or that it's been a
Hard and
Quebec.
done.
Quebec has
hit
been
that same weird
all
spot.
over them in some ends, but then there's been other ends where Northwest Territories, and in particular Jamie's shots, where he's really bailed them out at times, but also missed opportunities at times. So a seesaw battle through these first 7 ends. But
we've also seen a lot of different types of ends, using rocks in house for backing and as guards. And like we saw last end, Quebec was looking in great shape, but because it's behind the tee line, there's an out.
Yeah.
Jamie took great advantage of that.
Line's good. Pas d'en avoir tant que ça, je trouve.
Want to get this into top 4, top 8.
Pas grave.
Don't want it too deep.
C'est beau, Annie.
We'll see now the close guard. A bit of a repeat to last end's beginning if every shot's made.
Whoa, line. This one's really out there. Okay, just go. Just go. Get some separation. Switch.
If I think back to some of the key shots of this game, Steve.
You got to separate
talked
those
about it.
rocks.
Jamie Cooey's hit and roll in the third end to limit the damage, but then Jean-Michel coming back with a beautiful angle slash to score 3. And then another key shot was Jamie Cooey's pick on his draw for 2 in the fourth end, only get 1. And then I think probably most importantly was that freeze by Jamie Cooey in the last end to set up the steal of 1 when Quebec had the chance to maybe win the game in that seventh end.
Well, you said it, that was a game-ending shot. If Jamie doesn't weld that on, you saw how close Jean-Michel came to even getting rid of it, as good as it was made. Great shot there. It also makes up for the draw that came up short.
Yeah, sure.
Ended up with the same result. So.
And what an 8th end we're setting up here. Quebec with 2 great shots to start.
Yeah, those are right close together where you want them. Yeah, Jamie's going to put another guard out there because he knows that the double peel is going to come up next. This will...
Tight.
I don't think Jean-Michel would ever risk starting to guard all this and hope that he can hold on to it. I think he'd rather have it all open, so you know he's going to double peel, so putting the guard up is the right call and important shot here.
Quick update as we watch Cole Parsons throw his in the other semifinal. Ontario was forced to 1, so the team from the Ottawa Curling Club will have a 2-point advantage, but it is the team from New Brunswick, James Grattan, who will have hammer coming home in the 8th.
Line's good. Hard to get it by.
Just gets by the top one.
Perfect shot there. You wonder over in that other game. I mean, New Brunswick had a 2-point lead going into 8 in their round robin game. And
right.
Ontario scored 3, so is this going to be a payback?
Yeah. It was on, Ontario, as you said, won that
Si on est chanceux,
round robin game.
Dessus, peuvent peut-être toutes partir.
So Ian's made a lot of peels this game. That weight, you can pretty much hit it anywhere and your stone's moving. How far will that red one go?
Well, fortunately for Quebec, that rolled far enough because about a foot off closer to the center line, and that's right in his draw path and might have taken away 1/2 of the house for him. Well, Jamie knows what Menard's going to do next. Take away the next guard. So
long one?
Put a guard up or sink one in?
Yeah. Turn you on.
I like this call, long guard again.
Nice and long. Whoa, line. No. Margot, you got to go. You got a corner guard area. Where is it? Hard. Help her. I don't know what to do here.
Jamie
I don't know what to do here. Yep, you got to get, whoa. Right beside it.
Wow, 2 usable stones and probably pretty hard to get rid of both of them, but that's what Jean-Michel will do. Want to hit the outside one first because you could squeeze that middle one back in the house as we saw earlier in the game.
Yeah, into this blue. So he will call down Marie-France to take a look at the angles. There's no better person on the sheet to help with that. Or which rock do you hit? How do they spin?
You'd like to hit the center one, but it is a little, because it's a little bit over top of it. The problem with the red one, the outside one could go back on their blue if it's not hit correctly.
He's doing our telestration for us there.
He had the squiggly lines going. I like that.
So he is going to play off the center line one.
Elle va tellement spinner qu'elle va partir.
Yeah, thinks if it does even touch the blue, it's going to spill enough. So Ian can throw the big weight, and this one is going to be this one's going to be a high, hard one.
And you can see from that look that the center line one's a little bit higher, so hitting the outside one has more risk.
Big shot. Ian below.
Yes! Yes!
What's he got?
Exactly what he drew up for us on the telestrator.
Okay.
And
They were all
everything.
going. They were all going, yeah. Yeah.
All I
it's-
tell you.
Wow, what a great shot. And now we're just back to 1 here for Quebec. In the 4-foot with hammer in control now.
Worked out better than they thought, I think.
Yeah. Getting all of the rocks touched basically except for that one. Ian's played a fantastic game.
Looking for a guard here.
A little bit. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good throw.
Really good throw. Really looking for a miss from Quebec is what they're looking for now. Peel here.
Little chatter as she delivers. Speed wobble for Rouge.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. She still makes the peel.
Great throw.
Try to get other side of center line, maybe.
So they'll switch up the placement here. They don't want to give them the exact same shot. Even with the wobble, they'll know that line. So just going to try and cross the center.
Think back to the, what was it, the 5th end, where it looked like it was going to be a blank or a simple single for Quebec, or I guess it was going to be more of a blank. A series of great guards got the force out of it, so this rock is in a better position for Northwest Territories to potentially use later if they wanted to bump it back. So can't give up yet if you're the team from Yellowknife. They still might be able to generate something, but you're playing a team that is not missing much.
No.
Clean, 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 clean.
Another great throw there by Marie-France.
So I wonder if Jamie's going to try and bump that behind the tee line now and sit
They're going to
there.
bump it right to here.
Yep. Setting up for next shot.
Right on the nose, make him. He makes a double, right?
But if he misses the back one, then we have
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Our best chance is to go back for mid. Maybe.
Yes, he's going to try and come down. Tap that one to the back 4.
That's just a little move, a little bump.
I think we're gonna bump him back 4. Hope he misses the double. Or he sticks something around that I can tuck a piece under. Back heat, wait. Are you sure? Whoa! Line's good.
Fargo saying the line's a little inside or a little tight.
The weight's up a little bit. Does want to keep this blue rock around.
Whoa!
Just trying to get it right behind it if he can. And there's a great shot.
Oh!
I think you'll want to hit it just off nose and roll it outside a bit because you know Jamie's going to come around it or a corner freeze on it.
Bounce that shot.
Is he trying to kill his other stone with this?
Absolutely. It's now behind the tee line, so if he doesn't, he gives Jamie the chance to freeze right on that red, right on the button. We saw what happened last end. Jamie made it, and it resulted in 1. So he'd love to lose his back red on this as well. If he can also squirt over in the 8-foot, worst he's looking at, if Jamie makes it, is a rock in the back 8 he can draw to, or he can just choose to draw a button, and he's got a lot of room for that.
Bit of a tough shot then for Jean-Michel in his first. Doesn't want to get too cute, but definitely wants to move it, as you mentioned. We saw the freeze in the last end.
No, no,
Does he have a piece of the back one? Not quite.
He doesn't.
So,
See the magic one more time.
does he have the magic one more time? He just said it himself.
What are you thinking? Just a hair more ice?
Difference on this, though, is
I think so.
difference on this is Jamie's going to try and
gotta
put it
stick everything,
perfectly
right?
here. I think what you'll see
Stick something though.
with Menard's shot is it's a short run back. I bet he would run that one in rather than trying to pick it across. If he makes it perfectly. If it's not perfect, then you will see
What are you talking about?
Jean-Michel do we did last time, pick it out.
Oh, well, we're going to be perfect on it. You were saying that.
They're going to be perfect.
A little more ice.
I will say the other challenge here too is this is a spot that Jamie's missed 2 draws
That's a lot, I think.
in this game.
Yeah, dead nose.
It's a little bit more inside than his others, but we saw the pick in 4, and then he came up light in 6. First draw for 2.
But he just threw this in his first shot of the end.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's always in the back of your mind. We heard him mention it the previous time when he went down to the end. Hope it doesn't pick, so it's certainly something he hasn't forgotten about.
He's got to be shot to force Jean-Michel to play his last.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for error on this for him.
Jamie Cooey with his final stone of the 8th end.
Come close to me. Easy.
In a tie game with Quebec.
Closer line. Yep.
Looking to win the Northwest Territories' first national curling championship, but he's got to be
Really
shot
curling.
rock.
Hard. Line's good.
They really like the line.
Hard line.
Now they're holding it.
Gotta hold it straight. Whoa.
What do they got? Well, not quite the weld job he did on the last one, but he will force Jean-Michel to make his final.
Just make it go away. Quarter of a rock, even half of a rock, probably even 3/4 of a rock. He should be able to spin it out because he has that rock in the top 8.
He's a Brier champion. He's a mixed champion, but it's been 20 years for Jean-Michel Menard to get back to play for gold for Quebec. He needs to make the stone go away. And the hands up by Marie-France Larouche. Quebec will play for gold at the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championship. What an exciting game, Steve. Jamie Cooey is off to the bronze medal game. His team from the Northwest Territories having a fabulous week. But it was the team from Quebec and the Club de Curling Etchemin and the Curling de Colin Club in Chelsea who will play for gold this afternoon, 2 p.m. Mountain. They'll be